One. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the August 3rd, 2022 virtual meeting of Chatham's Historic Business District Commission. My name is Daniel Silver, and I am the current chairman. This meeting will unfold, hopefully, as follows. As soon as Sarah Clark, the Central Permitting Coordinator, reads the governor's directive concerning these meetings, we'll do a roll call of the members who are present, and we'll be reviewing the applications this afternoon. The first order of business will be the minutes, and as soon as the minutes are approved, we'll move right on to the application. And as soon as Sam Strivett, our clerk, reads your application, we ask that you speak up and let your presence be known. We'll move on from there. All right, Sarah.
Please note this meeting is being recorded and will be available shortly hereafter for scheduled and on-demand viewing on any smartphone or tablet device. If anyone else is recording the meeting, please notify the chairman. Pursuant to Governor Baker's July 16, 2022, signing of an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, including the extension of his March 12, 2020 order, suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20, until March 31st, 2023, this meeting of the Historic Business District Commission is being conducted remotely and shall afford adequate alternative means of public access via Microsoft Teams by calling the phone number 1-508-945-4410, conference ID 781-532-148#, or join the meeting online via Microsoft Teams through the link in the posted agenda. Despite our best efforts, we may not be able to provide for real-time access, and we'll post a record of this meeting on the town's website as soon as possible. In accordance with town policy, the public can speak to any issue, hearing, or business item on the agenda during the meeting when recognized by the chair.
Thank you, Sarah. Now on to the roll call. Dan Silver, present, chairman. Vice Chair Darcy Sequin.
Darcy Sequin is here.
Okay, and then our clerk, Sam Strivett.
Sam Strivett is here.
Okay, regular member Bob Burns.
Bob Burns is here.
Okay, regular member Doug Grattan.
Doug Grattan is here.
Okay, and our first alternate, Steve DeBoer.
Steve DeBoer is here.
Very good. So we have a quorum. Now, as I said, the next order of business, it will be the minutes, and those are of the meeting held on July 20th. Are there any comments or amendments anybody would like to make? All right, Doug.
Doug Grattan will make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Darcy Sequin will second the motion.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. All right, Darcy.
Darcy is in favor.
Okay, Sam Strivett.
Sam Strivett is in favor.
Okay, Bob Burns.
Bob Burns was not in attendance.
That's true, Bob, you weren't. Doug Grattan.
Doug Grattan's in favor.
Steve DeBoer.
Steve DeBoer is in favor.
All right, and Dan Silver's in favor as well. Very good. Those are gone. Now, our first order of business, first application, Sam.
First application is a sign, 22-74, Chatham Sunrise, care of Kenesha Henry. Application to install a ground sign located at 247 Orleans Road.
All right, Sarah says all the applicants are here, so would you like to speak up and tell us what you're proposing, please?
Hi, good evening, everyone from the Selectmen Board. This is Kenesha. So I actually did an application to install a sign for a new business that's located at 247 Orleans Road. It's going to be Chatham Sunrise. It's going to be a vinyl print. It's going to be on the ground. So I had to do the application to be certified for this sign to be put in the historical.
All righty.
Are you hearing me clearly?
Can I see you? We had you on the screen before. Is your camera off?
Sorry. Is it better?
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, we got you. There you are.
Hi. There you are. I'm sorry. I thought my camera was on for a moment.
Welcome. All right, let's see what the members think.
Thank you.
All right. Steve, we'll start with you. Uh-oh, we lost Steve? All right.
Steve, you muted?
You there, Steve?
No, yeah, I'm here. It's kind of bouncing in and out. You know, I think it's a nice sign. It's very bright, but you know, people will see it for sure. I, I see there's some lighting there. Is that lighting going to remain, and is it going to be operational?
No, we're not gonna use the lighting that's there.
Okay, and it looks like it's going on an existing post, so there's no other changes as far as that's concerned.
No, no other
Okay.
changes.
Okay. Other than that, it's very colorful, and it's I'm sure people will see it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, Doug?
I got a question. Is there going to be a border around the sign? Or is it just gonna be a white panel?
It is like a panel.
So there's no border?
No, there's no board around the sign.
I think a border would help, but other
Did
than
you
that, I
say
have no
border or
questions. I think
board?
it's appropriate.
Okay, Doug. Kennesia, did you want to respond to Doug's request?
So I was asking, did he say border or board? I'm not sure exactly what he said.
Border around the sign.
Oh, border?
Yeah,
Oh,
around the
yes.
outside edge of the
There-
sign.
Yes, yes, there is a border. My bad. I'm sorry. I thought he said board. Yes, there is a
Alright.
border around the sign.
All right, no further questions.
Okay.
All righty. Bob?
One question, Kenisa, what kind of business is this gonna be?
It's gonna be a breakfast and lunch restaurant.
Oh, okay, okay, I didn't hear it in the beginning, but that's great. I have no questions on the sign. I think it looks fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sam Strybert?
I'm gonna pass making a comment.
All righty. Darcy?
A couple of questions. The temporary sign that you got approval for that's up, what size is that? You know what size
It's
that
a
is?
40, yes, it is a 40 by 48 inches.
The one that's up now?
Yes.
Okay. And what color is your border gonna be?
The border is gonna be the blue around it.
Okay. All right. I think that's good. All right. I have no further questions.
All right, Sam, you want to read what the central permitting coordinator says
Yes,
about the
the
sign?
central I'm sorry I didn't add this to the announcement. The central permitting, Sarah Clark, the central permitting coordinator, has written that the proposed sign complies with the sign bylaw.
All righty. I guess it's my turn. Do you have any other comments, Sam?
Normally, it's just right at the point of the spear of what we've recently been talking about, and I've been thinking very hard about. I think the word Chatham is illegible. I think while the colors are pertinent to something like this, and I think with the border, I would approve it. But generally, the signs are not so active like this, and in the surrounding neighborhood. So that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, Sam?
Yep.
You still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all righty. I didn't know if you faded out or, okay.
No,
can agree.
I said that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, The colors do concern me. You know, our regulations ask that they be slightly muted. Or just looking at the applications, are these all very bright colors? They're shiny?
They're in the packet.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Looking at that. Okay, well, yeah, I think, okay. I mean, that's the only concern I have, but the others don't, apparently do not, so I'll go along with the masses here this time. All right, so are there any other comments? Anybody from the public like to make a comment about this particular sign? No? All right, Doug, I guess it's up to you. Well, if you're muted.
Now I am unmuted.
Yeah.
Woo, it didn't take long. So under signs, application number 22-074, Chatham Sunrise, care of Kenesha Henry, application to install a ground sign located at 247 Orleans Road as presented.
Darcy Sequin will second the motion.
All righty. Motion has been made and seconded. All right, ready to vote? Darcy,
Darcy Sequin is in favor.
hey, Sam Stryber,
What's the vote that if you just
abstain?
abstain? You know, abstain.
Okay. Bob,
Bob Burns approves.
okay. Doug Grattan,
Doug Grattan votes in favor.
Steve DeBoer,
Steve DeBoer would be in favor.
okay, and Dan Silva will abstain as well. You still pass, right, Sarah? Good.
That is correct.
Yeah, she got 3 out of 5. That's good. Good. Very good. All right. All right, Sam.
Good luck
next
to you.
one.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much.
So we have an additions alteration.
You're all
22
second,
dash,
that's right. I'm sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
22-76, 1038 Main Street Realty Trust, care of Terry Eldridge. Application to replace windows, siding, side and garage door and roof on the existing shed's garage structure located at 1038 Main Street.
Good afternoon, Terry.
Good afternoon. Simple request is obviously to replace the windows, the garage door and the entry door with something of like kind. I'm proposing to replace trim around the window, which is not necessarily on the main structure. It just makes it look a little nicer. That's the door that's similar to what's in there now. It's a wooden garage door now, and this is a metal garage door. And we're proposing to paint it charcoal, which is a gray. Looks different on the original magazine, but it's a little bit darker than that gray that's there. So that's the only thing to be painted. Well, that door, the garage door and the side door entry door is not seen from Main Street. The shingles will be white cedar on the sidewalls, and the roof will match the shingles on the main structure, which is a black architectural grade shingle.
Okay, and the size of the trim is going to remain the same, Terry?
The trim is going to be, I believe it's going to be AZAC. I'm proposing AZAC. The builder's trying to suggest something that's white painted, what's it called? Womanized wood that's out there now on the market. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go with it, but it's going to be white.
Okay, well, the trim on the garage door isn't gonna be replaced, right? That's just the door itself?
All the trim is being replaced.
Oh, all the trim is being replaced, all right.
It's gonna be, the attempt is to be identical to what's there now.
Okay. But the sizes are all gonna be the same, right?
Well,
I mean, the 1x5 is gonna be 1x5, and the 1x4 is gonna be 1x4? And the rake trim's all gonna be the same size?
yes, that,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Okay. All right,
Windows are gonna be as close as we can come to the same size. This was moved here in 1986.
Yep.
Was not a new garage at that time. So whatever fits the opening is what we're gonna be using.
very good. All righty, let's see what everybody thinks about it. Okay, Darcy?
Are the white shingles, cedar shingles gonna remain natural, or are you gonna stain them? Or-
Absolutely natural.
Okay, that's all I have.
Sam?
I'm a bit confused by the picture that's in our packet. It shows a sort of a creamy white door and a gray trim. Is the door going to be white and the trim white?
The trim is going to be white, and the door is going to be based on the color chart that was inserted with the application. So it'll be charcoal. It's a color.
Oh,
That's the only picture that they had that was resembled the door that we were buying.
okay, so it's a very light gray. Well, it's not the lightest gray, but it's a heavy dark gray, but bluish gray.
Bluish gray, yeah.
Okay, and that's what's pictured in the trim is painted charcoal, but you're going to have the door as charcoal.
Correct.
I have no problem with that. I think
Okay.
this is a fixture visible from a public way from two ways, and so it's been in this location for as long as I've been in Chatham. I see no reason why it should be brought up to the character of the main house.
All right, Sam? All right, Bob Burns?
I think it looks fine, looks good. I have no further questions.
Okay. Doug Grattan?
I have no question. I think it's gonna be a great improvement to the shed.
Steve DeBoer?
I have no questions. Looks pretty straightforward.
Okay, and Dan Silva has no questions. I think it's gonna fit in the historic district. Great. All right. Doug?
All right, so under additions/alterations, application 22-076, 1038 Main Street Realty Trust, care of Terry Eldridge. Application to replace windows, siding, side and garage door, and roof on the existing shed/garage structure located at 1038 Main Street as presented.
Darcy Sequin will second the motion.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. Steve?
I would vote to approve.
Doug?
Doug Grattan votes to approve.
Bob Burns?
Bob Burns votes to approve.
Sam Stryber?
Sam Strybert votes to approve.
Darcy Sequin?
Darcy Sequin votes to approve.
And Dan Silva votes to approve. Very good. Thank you, folks. All right. Congratulations, Terry.
Thank you very much.
All right. Sam, our next one.
New construction, 22-77, Chatham Productions, care of Victoria Clark. Application to construct a new dwelling located at 10 Annabelle Lane, Lot 2.
All right.
Hello, how are you?
Well, what are you up to? I'm looking at the packet.
So this house, lot 2, is kind of on the opposite side of the lot 4 house we presented all the way back in January. So lot 2, it borders the Main Street property and the corner of the Cape Associates and part of what is, I can't remember the exact address, but Depot Road and Post Office Square. So those two houses. So this house is 3,547 square feet. The footprint is 1,800 and I think 83 off the top of my head. I can double check that. But, and so, yeah, so these are the elevations.
All right. I think we're all familiar with this. Pam, you want to start us off? There, Sam?
Oh, I'm sorry. For some reason, I'll have to turn the volume up, I guess.
All right.
Well, I started looking at it and I found that the drawings are somewhat deficient in showing railings and showing how the house meets the ground. And I found myself pretty much distracted by the way the elevations don't show, or the plans don't show things that are site connections that are in the elevations. So, and some don't have the elevations, but and I find the roof slope is showing the roof slope has got an 8 and 12 on it, and I believe it's deeper than that, but it's hard to tell. It looks like a right opposite.
Hey, Bill.
It's not quite. Then, but looking at the plan, while the house itself has many traditional features, which I think are fairly well drawn. It's just that I think the house is too big. And it's the west elevation that shows a 3-story plain face, unbroken, that belies the grace and simplicity of the north elevation. So that's really, it's going to be very hard to approve a house. It's too big.
I guess one thing that sorry to interrupt you, is that on the west elevation, we're looking at our printed version, and it is there because on this specification sheet I also put with the application, it has all the materials. There is like a light stonework, and we have the sample of what it will be, but it's too light to show up on the elevations. I don't know, it must have been the way I copied them that they were drawn on too light, but I believe it's on one of the last pages. But so it won't just be a plain base, it will have stone, like, it's the last page of the specifications. There we go, yes. But.
And
so,
it's a little hard to understand, but there's on the face of it, that if you look at the plot plan, there's a rather large, looks like an 8-foot high retaining wall.
Yes.
Supports a patio, and that backs up against the house number 776, and I don't think that's the house. I think that's the theater.
Yes. So since we submitted this application, we, as with David Clark, had a meeting with the building commissioner and Sarah, and the retaining walls are going to change just based upon the timeline of when the application needed to be submitted. We actually finalized the new retaining walls yesterday, but obviously that was far too late to get it into your packets. And we understand that since they've changed, we will need to come back and show the retaining walls, but now the retaining walls, because obviously the grades of the property around us make a difference. We worked with David to figure out what we want those grades to be. So as a result, all of the walls are not going to be greater than 3 feet, so the 8-foot walls will no longer be what they look like now.
Well, I think you should take it, I realize that 776 is to be, is the current barn, isn't it? What is it?
776 is the theater property and the Washington Taylor house. So I believe you might be thinking of what the former gas station that was converted into an apartment building is. That is where this current house will be. So it's you can kind of see it's kind of layered on top of it. It's kind of hard to tell because there's a lot going on in this drawing, but that's the general proximity of where it will be, because the property line, the subdivision line is just beyond the theater building, if that makes sense.
Aren't you putting an 8-foot retaining wall onto, that'll be facing lot 1? Is that right?
Not anymore. No, I thought I explained, but we are the retaining walls. While this drawing does show that since this application was submitted, we talked to Sarah Clark as well as the building commissioner, and the retaining walls are not going to be 8 feet tall anymore. We understand we'll have to show that to you guys, but that plan was only formalized yesterday, so it wasn't able to be in it. They will be 3 feet tall.
Well, I'm afraid my computer sound that didn't pick up everything that you said, but I still think I think I'd have to be satisfied about this retaining wall before I could vote for this. And I would also the side that's really since let's see, the west wall that has the I'm the east wall. Okay, there's the front entrance there. So this is the west wall. Yeah, and that confirms to that. The west wall is the blank wall. It's 3 stories high.
So it won't be a blank wall. It will have stone like the previous house that the H.B.D.C approved. How it will have the garage entrance will be stone, and then up above will be shingles.
But yeah, you're showing it. Oh, those are garage doors down.
Yes, those are garage doors.
Okay. Well, so this is is this the second house? I mean, the other house that we approved has a garage in the basement, and this has a garage in the basement.
Yes,
yeah.
that is also correct.
There you go. That's my concern is the size of the building, how this building meets the ground, and I assume you'll have an answer for these retaining walls.
I understand. Yeah, we can totally come back once we can hear everyone else's comments, and I understand we will have to come back with the accurate retaining walls, because everyone obviously showing the grading and with 8 feet walls is very different than 3 feet walls. It obviously changes the landscape of the property completely. So we understand that.
I'm done, Dan. Dan, I'm done.
Okay, very good, Sam. Darcy?
I have no questions. I think the design is appropriate for the area.
Bob?
Yeah, Victoria, I was looking for the garage, and they look like windows, but now I understand where the garage is. Just one question. The house that we approved a few months ago and this house, what are the major changes?
To the design or the size, is that?
The size and the exterior design.
Okay, so the exterior in general, it is a different, so it's similar, obviously Marvin windows, cedar shingle roofing. The house, they're all cedar shingles, but it's a different stain of shingle than the previous one you approved. There's slightly different exterior style, and obviously the windows are different and that sort of thing. Size-wise, this house is quite a bit smaller. The house you approved before, it was a bigger lot, and I believe the lot coverage was closer to the footprint coverage was closer to 16% versus this house is 15%. I can pull it up on my computer, but off the top of my head, I want to say the footprint for lot 4, which is the house you approved, was, hold on, let me pull it up real quick.
Well, I mean lot 1, not lot.
Oh, the lot 4 was the house you approved. It's confusing with the numbers, but so the one you approved before for us was lot 4, but it was the footprint, the proposed dwelling was a footprint of 2,322 square feet. So it was almost 500 square feet bigger than this house.
Okay. And none of the lot sizes have changed, is that correct?
No, none of the lot sizes have changed now.
Okay, and then you mentioned the cedar being different. I see a gray. Is that going to turn dark gray, those cedar shingles?
I don't think they'll turn dark gray. They're going to be stained a light gray. So I can't speak as much to this, but I do not believe that they'll change color now.
Okay, all right. No further questions. Thank you.
Okay, Bob, I believe they actually wash out, get a little bit lighter.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Thank you. No further questions.
Doug? Doug, are you still there? Are you with us, Doug? Oh, we'll move on to Steve DeBoer.
Okay, I'm here.
There you go.
I guess I had some similar questions as Sam did about that west elevation, but is the grading going to be lowered also if the retaining walls are being made shorter, or is all of that grading going to be lowered also? Because there's 2 fairly large staircases there.
Yes. So the way the grading is shifted is going to be that it's more so along the lines. Let me pull it up. Look, it will be. You might have a better job at explaining this.
Yeah.
It will. Greg is also here, but the new retaining walls will be this way. So
David Clark has he's been working on the grading to blend it so that there's a less harsh grade change between each of the properties.
Right.
So as Victoria said, the plan that they sent over to us yesterday or today?
Last night, yeah.
Last night, they have all these retaining walls so that they comply with the guidelines that there's no more than 3 feet of exposed stone wall facing any abutter. Okay. When we submit the next version of this for the next meeting, we will have the corrected drawing and it will show you that grading. Now the steers will stay because what it is, just like all of these all of these lots with the parking under, in order to get down to reduce the size of all the houses that we originally showed you, we've now reduced all of them from what was like 16 to 17.5% footprint to 15%, the amount that is allowed in residential zones. So when you see the other houses come to you, you'll see that they're all at 15%. And by doing that, we had to get rid of any garages. So we're putting the garages under, and that's requiring these retaining walls on the property, which results in the steps coming down, similar to what we had on lot 4. Set of stairs coming down to the lower level garage entrance, because obviously you have to make up the difference between the slab on grade in the basement up to the first floor elevation, coming up to the exterior egresses on the first floor level.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
And then is there any sort of like a roof or something or an overhang over the garage doors? Maybe that would help break up that the mass of that wall. If there was some kind of an overhang between where the rock veneer ends and the shakes start.
Yeah, no, we can talk to Mark about that.
Because I think that would help to break up some of that mass of that wall.
And we'll give a little bit of drip from the rain and snow just dropping on the cars right there.
Yeah. Other than that, I have no other questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Is Doug still with us? We lost Doug. Sarah, can we get Doug to call in or something?
It's showing that Doug is still here on the screen.
Well, I'll try to fill in a little time here. Yeah, I see we're working on it. We're coming along. My only concern is that the self elevations really look high, but I see the numbers and that they within reason. They've been making progress here. And so you're going to come back with the drawings of that retaining wall? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, definitely. We can come back with that. And I think that'll provide a lot more clarity of, and it will give a much better picture of what it
And
is.
we'll get this back.
And we'll also have it potentially add the overhang to the garage doors and darken the stone more so you can see
even if it isn't the garage door, the door that's to the right. There's an opportunity to get a shed over it, break up some of the wall underneath the windows.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments going in the afternoon?
Yeah, I see Doug still there, but I can't hear him. Sam.
I thank Doug or I think Steve for bringing up the red cedar shingles. Red cedar shingles are have a they're sort of incompatible with all the white cedar shingles that's all over that are naturally weathering. So I assume you have some reason for bringing red cedar in because they're going to weather like a dark brown, and the house will stick out from the way we normally see houses settling into the background. So, and usually red cedars were used in more ornate designs, somewhat Victorian, somewhat like a lake house or an ocean house with sweeping lines. That sort of conjures up that image of a house that's using red cedar shingles. But if you're planning on using red cedar shingles and then staining them a light gray, I don't know whether you can stain darker wood lighter very well. So I'd be interested in hearing why you're using red cedars and whether you intend to have them weathering or whether you're going to finish them off some other way.
Well,
Sam, we'll check with Mark on that. We want them to gray naturally. So if it's a white cedar that does that, we'll correct that on the next revision, okay?
Yep.
We're not looking to have it stay a dark brown. We want it to gray like they typically a natural. If it's the white cedar that turns to gray, we'll confirm with him and come back to you.
Yeah. Hi. This is Steve. Maybe I just want to just clarify something because it looks like the white cedar is the sidewall siding and the red cedar is on the roof. Is that true?
yes, that is correct. Yeah, the red cedar is the roof, and the gray, the stained gray, is the siding.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is Dan Silva. Now you just confused me. On the sidewalls, are you using white cedar that are pre-stained?
Yes.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and on the roof, they're just regular red cedars
Yes, that is correct.
without any stain.
Yes, that is correct.
So that's just traditional siding. Okay, does that help,
Yes.
Sam and Steve? That's the same as everybody else that could afford.
That's I'm fine with that. I mean, that's the impression that I got from the beginning, so I'm
Okay,
fine
very
with
good.
that.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Well, how do you make red cedar shingles compatible with the way a white cedar weathers? Or do you don't?
What was that question again, Sam?
So if you feel that red cedars is compatible with the neighborhood, how is dark brown finish, dark brown weathering compatible or appropriate?
The red cedar are going on the roof.
Oh,
That would be
Yes.
the same as the dentist's office down at Crow Road, who had all those red cedars they put on the roof.
okay. I have no problems with red cedars on the roof.
Yeah, and then
And
the sidewall
so what
shingles are going to be pre-stained.
You're gonna
White.
get a Mabec for exterior siding, Mabec cedar shingle, and you're gonna bleach it with a light gray and stay.
Yep.
Right,
Yes.
stain.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Phew. Alrighty. Oh, yeah, this is Dan Silver. Just getting back to what I was trying to say. I was still concerned about the south side elevation appearing to be so high, but I see, was that 24 feet?
Yes.
Right
From the
the
first floor.
first floor to the ridge. And what are we left with? We changed I think we changed the ceiling height on the first floor, did we not, on the second floor? When you initially came, did you have 10 feet or something? Now you're 8?
Yeah, we dropped it down. We dropped that down to like 9 feet.
I believe so, yes.
Yes.
I believe
Yeah.
that's correct.
Okay, alrighty, thank you. That's it. I wish Doug was still with us, but I want him to lose out.
So you have from first floor to second floor, you have 10'2", and
Yes, we do.
3/4.
Just
So giving a foot for the structure, which is, since you have 20 feet, you might even need 18 inches, but still that's it's close to a 9-foot ceiling.
9-foot ceiling. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
It would be good if you put the ceiling height on here rather than the floor to floor.
Okay.
We're interested in what these room sizes are. I think a 23 by 21 foot living room is completely oversized for this part of Chatham. You have seating for 10 at dining when you have 3 bedrooms. You can only have 6 people in the house. So I don't know. There's so oversized. Anyway, well, you know my view on this.
To the rest of the commission members, I don't believe that we have purview over the inside.
No, we don't.
No, but we have purview over how big the whole shebang is.
Certainly do, and I think
And
your
it's
comment you
caused
made,
by-
yes,
Caused by
comment?
having an office in the house. It's caused by having an oversized living room. It's caused by having a dining room. You have to have 9-foot ceilings for a 20 by 20 space, or otherwise the ceiling looks like it's descending on you. Cavernous space. It's bad spatially. I think we've had an inflation of building size throughout the town, and I think this is an area by itself that I would have liked to have seen smaller apartments, smaller houses, more affordable houses, more of them. That's my.
Alrighty, folks. So we don't have Doug. Oh, we do have Doug.
I am back there, but I had to step away for a family issue, so I missed the presentation. I apologize.
Hope everything's all right, Doug. Are you okay to proceed?
I'm okay to proceed, yes.
All right, would you like to make a comment about this application? Take your time.
It's an improvement. I think it's definitely an improvement what we've seen in the past, and I would certainly be in favor of it.
Okay, very good. Anybody else? Is there anybody in the audience who'd like to make a comment about this application? Any last comments from the members of the board? Oh, all right, Doug?
So under new construction, application 22-077, Chatham Productions, care of Victoria Clark, application to construct a new dwelling located at 10 Annabelle Lane, Lot 2, as presented.
All right, Darcy, can you hold off a second? Someone raised their hand. Who was that,
Yeah.
Sarah?
That was me. I
Okay.
wanted to see if you would like, if the board members would like us to continue the meeting so that they can assess the building with the proper retaining walls and the updated drawings if we decide to how we want to break up or change the west elevation with the garage doors, if that is amenable to the board.
I think that would be appropriate. Would you be willing to wait until you come back?
Yes, we would.
That would really make me feel more comfortable rather than amending this and everything else. So, all right. So would you request a continuance to our next meeting, Sarah, which is, I should be able to add that up, the 14th?
August 17th.
17th, brother. No, I couldn't add it up. Right. Okay. Do you request a continuance to the 17th?
Yes. Could we have a continuance to the 17th, the meeting on the 17th?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. No problem. Then you'll be all done. Yeah. Okay. So you request a continuance before 4:30 on the 17th. All right. Is there a motion to accept the request?
Doug Grant will make a motion that we continue this application 22-077.
Until
Darcy Sequel will second the motion.
he hasn't given us a date yet. Until August
It's gotta have
17th.
it needed.
August 17th.
Okay, Darcy.
Darcy will second the motion.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. All right. All right, Darcy,
Darcy votes in favor.
okay, Sam Stryver,
Sam Stryver votes no.
Bob Burns,
Bob Burns, somebody was going to speak.
Yeah, I was just going to say we're voting for a continuance.
Oh, yes,
Sam.
I'll vote yes. I'll vote yes for the continuance. Excuse me.
Bob Burns in favor.
okay. Steve DeBoer,
I would be in favor.
Doug Grattan,
Doug Grant votes in favor.
and Dan Silva votes in favor. Did I miss anybody? If I did, I apologize. All right, very good. So we're gonna see the new retaining wall and how it all fits in there. is gonna change things a little. All right, Sam.
Administrative approval exemption. 22-75, Deborah Long, care of Philip Pond. Ratification of a certificate of administrative approval to replace the existing roof on the structure located at 1149 Main Street.
So this one was Darcy and Bob, and it was a roof replacement to go like for weathered wood.
All right. I think that's one of our pre-approved colors, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Very good. All right, is there a motion?
Doug Grattan will make a motion on administrative approval / exemption, application 22075 at Deborah Long, care of Philip Pond, ratification of certificate of administrative approval to replace the existing roof on the structure located at 1148 Main Street as presented.
Darcy Sequin will second the motion.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Darcy,
Darcy votes in favor.
Sam Stryber,
Sam Stryber votes in favor.
Bob Burns,
Bob Burns votes in favor.
Doug Grattan,
Doug Grattan votes in favor.
Steve DeBoer,
Steve DeBoer would be in favor.
and Dan Silver votes in favor. All right. Sarah, we have had a request via email about the pre-application conference. Is that correct?
We actually originally had two pre-application conferences scheduled. The one for the Chatham Squire will be held rather than today on August 17th, but we do also have the Chatham Productions Monomoy Theater pre-application conference.
Okay. Very good. So we have two on that date, on the 17th?
No, we have the Monomoy Theater today, and we'll have the Squire on the 17th.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right, yeah. Oh, I see. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right, Sam, so we can skip that 489, and we're gonna go right to Chatham Productions.
Pre-application conference, Chatham Productions LLC, care of Victoria Clark. Pre-application conference to discuss potential modifications to the structures located at 776 Main Street.
All righty.
Hello. So we have new renderings. I know the last time we talked was back in April, but so the new renderings that we have of the Washington Taylor House and the new theater building. So I believe one of the biggest things we were talking about the past few times we were reviewing the general elevations were how all the way to the right of the theater building, we were trying to get that structure to kind of look a bit more blended with the Washington Taylor House. So we're open to any comments anyone has, but this is the most recent change in design that we have.
All right, so you put an alcove in there essentially?
Yes, so in the front of the theater, I can't remember who mentioned it, but we were talking about how we wanted to match the bay window on the Washington Taylor House within that part of the, yes.
On this roof line to come down to be in the middle of the double hungs, similar to what's on the Washington Taylor House.
I don't know if they can hear you.
Yeah, they can hear me? Okay.
You can just face what I'm saying.
So Dan, on the last conversation we had on the theater building, the far right of the rendering, that bay there, it was requested that we drop the roof line so that the eave falls more into the middle of the double hung windows on the face of that bay, similar to what you see at the Washington Taylor House. That's what this reflects.
All righty. All right, well, let's see what they have to say. Sam?
This is sincerely, I think we're getting close here. And I'm just concerned about the new building on the right-hand side, that second floor is kind of a little higher than, like, the gutter line should maybe line up with the gutter line on the theater, and bring it down. I think your architect is concerned about the gutter having to clear. So he seems to have that gutter line going over the ridge of the roof. I mean, we can't point here, but of the connector piece here. And I don't know. I think it looks like the gutter line is actually, well, I don't know. It's hard to say because it's all in perspective. It's getting close. Let's see.
Okay, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the gutter,
Go ahead.
so the gutter line, yeah, if you follow that, if you follow the addition between the existing theater entrance today and the proposed bay on the right, so the gutter line appears from that elevation that the gutter line on the new bay is lower than the theater on the left. If you follow the ridge of the center connector. I think that I understand what you're saying, Sam. He could break the gutter and have it just, start at that intersecting ridge and come out to the front and do the same on the back.
I just think
the
second floor of that structure seems to loom over the space. And, but I understand. It will grow on me, maybe.
Yeah, if you remember some earlier versions, he had that building wider and the ridge,
Oh, I know.
slope was.
I don't want to talk about those. This is getting close.
Okay.
Okay, Darcy?
I think you've made some good improvements. I think it looks good.
Bob Burns?
I like the changes, so I think it lines up nicely with the Taylor House. So good job, and no further questions.
Okay. Doug Grattan?
Yeah, I also agree. I like the improvements. And I think it's appropriate, and I would definitely be in favor.
Okay. Steve DuBois?
Yeah, I think most of the suggestions that we have, or all of them, have been incorporated into these drawings. So I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, this is Dan Silver. It definitely doesn't look like a school anymore. I think that was appropriate comment the last time. But I do have a couple of questions. That little, what is the purpose of that little area that abuts? You got the two windows underneath you, and then to the right you have that. I don't know what it is. It's up against.
Yeah,
it's almost like no, on the other side, Sarah. Yeah, that. What is the purpose of that?
If you scroll to the floor plan
That was to hide the door.
to separate the entrance,
Yeah,
so it's more hidden.
Someone had asked about, when someone walks up to the theater, how they know which door is the theater. So now when you face from the street, you only see the theater entrance. You don't see the entrance into the, okay?
Okay, then my next question. All right, so that seems reasonable. My next question is, do you have one too many roofs on that? That have a front roof, a front shed roof, and a side?
No, I think he has it drawn right.
But if you combine the flanking units with the main building, it gets to be an unwieldy form, and it overpowers the poor little theater. This was the only way to break up that big. It's a big restaurant. The restaurant's almost as big as the theater footprint, and so I think they've done a great job of breaking up that large building in a way that makes the result compatible with each other and relate to each other.
So I guess what's confusing me is there aren't two doors in there. Is that supposed to be swinging doors in the front where that window is?
They're to the left, Dan, so they're on the side of it.
On the side? Oh, okay. All right. Very good.
Yeah, there's double
All right,
doors on
I
the
have-
side of it, so.
Okay, I have one other question. I wonder if it wouldn't look better if they're on the front. But anyways,
What's that?
I have one other question is, why did you abandon the idea of a roof on the center section? That's the only one with a shed roof facing that direction.
On the center section. So the
The two-story.
area where
The entrance to
Yeah.
the theater.
entrance to the theater.
Yeah. Up above. That one has a shed roof on it. Or it's actually an A-frame.
Oh, well, I think the reason that roof is because that's what it currently is.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
You were saying,
All right. That
you're saying
explains
with
that.
the,
All right.
Yeah, we didn't want to change it too much from its original.
Okay. All right. No, I think we're heading in a good place. Yeah. I mean, I would like to see, I'd just like to see a rendition with the two doors in the front of that little alcove, because that little thing seems off in there, but it looks great, much better than it was before. All righty. So did you get what you're looking for?
Yes.
Sarah, can you pull up the floor plan?
She did.
You did?
She did. Yeah.
So you see the entrance to the restaurant is a set of double doors that we originally had them facing the street. And
Yeah.
we were requested to get them off of that so that it wouldn't affect the view. People wouldn't be confused which was the entrance to the theater. So we turned them to the side. He bumped that out, the architect bumped that out, and we put in double doors there. You see those
Yep.
where Sarah has yeah. So do you like that better, or do you like having a view from the street with an entrance?
I don't know. It just seems like that one window is often, but everybody is pretty happy with it, so we can bring that up the next time. Nothing here is binding whatsoever, so, I mean, we can discuss that another time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're just trying to get feedback so we can have our architect on
Right.
next steps, we can continue it going. So if there's any changes that anyone wants to recommend, we'd appreciate any
Right.
feedback. It allows
Right.
us to come back the next time with some more.
Well, I was just trying to make that little bump out. Well, it is the entrance, so it makes, the way it is now, it makes sense because there's two doors. They're telling you what it is, but when there's only one window, everybody has to guess what that is about. But you've done a great job with changing that whole face. So,
Okay.
I'll look it over again. Nothing is
Okay.
binding right now, so no
All
one
right.
else has brought it up.
Maybe on the week, on the 17th, we can touch it again and people have had a chance to think about it further, and that way we can back to our architect with the next steps.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
More than welcome. Thank you. Thank you for doing a good job on that. It's vastly improved. I think it's far more appropriate than it was before. That's my comment. All righty. Anybody else? Any last comments? No?
Sarah, this is Steve. Should we save the paperwork for 489?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
How long does that stay on the website? That'll be in the agenda meeting pages, won't it? No, it won't, will it?
Yes, it would still be on today's agenda. I do have it scanned in if anyone needs me to email it to them.
Okay. Very good. All right. So that's it, folks, unless Doug, are you?
So Doug will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Darcy Seacon will second the motion.
The motion is made and seconded. Darcy,
Darcy votes in favor to adjourn.
Sam Stryver,
Sam Stryver votes in favor to adjourn.
Bob Burns.
Bob Burns votes in favor to adjourn.
Very good. Doug Grattan,
Doug Grattan votes in favor to adjourn.
Steve DeBoer,
Steve DeBoer votes to adjourn.
Dan Silva votes to adjourn. Thank you, folks.